Hello everybody, I'm Tom and you are watching me play Warframe. Today is going to be my Nezha build. This is my Nezha. He looks freaking cool, particularly with his new deluxe skin. I absolutely love this deluxe skin. It's possibly my favorite skin in the game. It's definitely up there. It just takes color perfectly in like all the places. But anyway, let's get into the build. First things first, as always, we'll go over the abilities. Firstly, the passive. You slide 60% faster and 35% further. This will come into play in my build because he's a slippery, slippery boy, Nezha. But first ability is Firewalker. Nezha puts like a line of fire everywhere he walks. So a blaze of trail of flames, scorching enemies and cleansing allies. Teleporting blasts the landing area with a ring of fire. The teleporting, by the way, is done with Blazing Chakram, which we'll get to in a second. So essentially you run around and anywhere you run leaves a big like fire trail behind you, which does a bunch of damage, sure, but the main benefit of that is it actually does pretty good control because the enemies will catch on fire, and when they're on fire they stand there sort of going, I'm on fire. Which means they're not shooting you, which is always nice. Next we have Blazing Chakram. You hurl a flaming ring that sets enemies ablaze, making them vulnerable to any damage. Flaming enemies drop restorative orbs on death, charge to amplify the power of the ring, and reactivate to instantly travel to the ring's location. So that's what it's talking about when it says teleport here. If you have Firewalk active and you teleport, there'll be like a ring of fire around you. So essentially it's like it's a chakram, which is a weapon, a bladed weapon, but you throw that at an enemy and it'll hit a bunch and sort of bounce between enemies, and if you hit it again before it comes back to you, you'll teleport to its current location. Next is Warding Halo, which is like a discount Rhino ability, essentially. You create a protective ring of fire that also stuns enemies that it damages near you, which is nice. However, this will give you damage absorption for a certain amount. Mine is currently at 2,000-ish, or 2,300, which is not insignificant. So essentially you can take 2,357 damage, and then after that, it'll disappear, you have to recast it. But for that time, you're invulnerable, essentially. It'll also do damage to enemies around you, as you can see there, 205 slash damage to enemies around you. It has an absorption multiplier of 4.1%. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I'm pretty sure what it means is that it's not actually 2,357 damage, it's actually 4.1 times that amount of damage, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. I think it's like almost like an armor multiplier for how much it actually has. And finally there's Divine Spears, where you just throw up spears everywhere and impale everybody. It does a fair amount of damage, but I usually use it for control more so. You can see I have the duration fairly high, so there's about 18 seconds of control for a bunch of enemies around you. And that's pretty much it. Generally consists of having Firewalker on all the time, having Warding Halo on all the time, and throwing your Chakram around a bunch, and if you want to do some control, use Divine Spears. It's pretty much what I do with them. But let's actually show the build. Corrosive Projection. As always, I love Corrosive Projection. Getting rid of armor, always a good idea. Maglev, just for more slidey bullshit. I've seen a lot of people not like this, and there's definitely an argument to be made for putting something else here instead of Maglev, because Maglev makes him ludicrous. He just, you hit slide and you go from one side of the map to the other. He's very, very slippery and slidey when you have this on. Even without this, he's pretty slippery and slidey, but with this, it just adds up even extra. And I love that about him, so I use it. Arcanes, Arcane Aegis, Arcane Consequence. But we have Streamline for ability efficiency. You're casting his abilities a lot. He's very caster heavy. You could make the argument that maybe drop Streamline and instead put in Prime Flow maybe. It would take more Former, but potentially... Actually, no, it wouldn't. You could do that. So you could have more energy instead. I mean, it's definitely an argument, but I tend to prefer having Streamline in there, just to have that efficiency up. We have Prime Continuity for ability duration, Stretch for ability range, Augur Reach, likewise for ability range. Umbral Intensify gives us a bunch of ability strength, Augur Sea Turrets, more ability strength. Reaping Chakram, this is the augment for Blazing Chakram, which each enemy hit increases the ring's damage by 2 times, and the chance for enemies to drop health orbs on death by a quarter times. Plus 0.25 times. So there's a 25% chance higher likelihood that they'll drop health orbs. which is nice because it'll supplement your health, which we also have with Vitality here, you can see. And also the extra damage just stacks up. The Chakram doesn't do like amazing damage at higher end stuff, but it does sufficiently enough that I'm happy with it. It's worth noting here, you could potentially, like, you can pretty easily fit Umbral Vitality in here instead of just regular Vitality. That puts you over 1,000 health, which is nice, but honestly, he doesn't really need it. Because he's going to be having his 3 up all the time, it's far less relevant to have... I'll just show you in the test. Look, there we go. Level 145, I won't bother with the lower level test. I have my Blazing Chakram up. I can absorb a fair amount of damage. I leave fire everywhere I go. If you look behind me, there's a big trail of purple fire. It's not actually purple fire, by the way. I just have blue and orange dual color slots. Ancient healers suck balls. You should get rid of them as quickly as possible. You can see there, he's carrot controlled. For some reason, I can't hit him. Oh god, I fell off. It's alright. Can throw my chakram at things. Let's do some control. I need to find these healers and kill them. That's what I need to do. There we go, headshots. What the hell happened? I broke it. There we go. I didn't hit 3. Healers suck a lot for Nezha. However, you can control and get rid of them fairly easily. As you can see, with the control and a fairly good weapon. There we go. I think that's everyone dead. Except for this guy. Alright, I think that's everyone dead. Oh, no, one more. Okay, now that's everybody dead. But you can see there, he's kind of like a, I would say like a discount Rhino, but that's probably a bit unfair. He's more like, he's like a really fast... Yeah, kind of discount Rhino. It's a fair assessment. His 4, similar to Rhino's, gives control. Rhino floats things in the air, he impales things. His 3 gives him armor the same way that Rhino's Iron Skin does, which is either Rhino's 2 or 3, I can't remember which. His Blazing Chakram is a bit different to Rhino's Charge. And then finally he has his 1, which is Fire, which is completely different. But the fire is really, really cool. Just the added... It just adds extra damage, as well as adding control to the mix. It's just really, really nice. But that's Nezha in a nutshell. He's a fairly easy Warframe to play. If you're trying not to die, you pretty much won't. You noticed I died there in that one, because I neglected to kill that healer fast enough. But, again, level 140 test. To be expected to die occasionally, just by having a misplay, but... I'm just making this nice and pretty. But anyway, that's going to be it. So if you like this video, leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching. I shall see you next time, where we will be taking on... Nidus. Sweet. I have some formering to do on Nidus. Lots and lots of formering. Anyway. Bye.